Jamie, that's me here. Welcome back to my channel, y'all. Okay, welcome on back. Come on into the room. Come on into the room. Y'all know we will be getting into Real Housewives of Salt Lake City as well as Real Housewives of Potomac. Okay, we're definitely going to talk about some things. Okay, let's see who's over here in the chat. What's going on, Lindsay? Hey, Big. What's up, Keisha? Thanks for making the live. Hey, Danielle. Hey, Jamal. Okuso. Did I say that right? Okosu? Okosu? What's going on? Okay, Levita. Hey, honey. Princess. What is up? Yes, I had to bring the ponytail back for a little bit, honey. What's going on, Isaac? Kimberly. Hey, honey. What's up, Latrice? Okay. What's going on, everybody? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, we're gonna start this thing off right, honey. Y'all go ahead and get y'all little drinks and y'all teas or whatever y'all finna have, dear. Okay. As I got mine. As we go ahead and we hop on into Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, okay? Let me see what else y'all over here saying. I see more people that came into the room. Hey, T. Hey, Sonia. Malik, what is up? DeMarcus Lee. Sammy, what is up, everybody? Thanks for joining us, okay? Thanks for joining me. Thanks for joining us, okay? As you guys come into the room, please be sure to hit that like button, all right? We appreciate you. Okay, so first things first, Whitney and Lisa, they decide to go and do some type of aerial dancing or something like that, trying to get to know each other a little better. So it was a cute little scene for the moment because we know it's not going to last very long when it comes to these ladies. Mary at the house with her husband. Y'all know her husband had been away. She says he got stuck in Florida based on the virus. Okay, when Miss C19 dropped, he ended up getting stuck in Florida for like a whole year. I said, girl, not stuck for a whole year, girl. Girl, the way Florida been opened up, girl, I'm sure he could have made his way to you. I guess he didn't want to be there with you, girl. I guess that's what it was, but it didn't matter because she was happy anyway. She was glad. She said, I liked it. I liked the fact that he was away. She was enjoying being at the house all to herself, okay? What else did she say? Oh, she just said that it was becoming a normal thing for them to be away from each other. So Miss Mary was happy. Miss Mary Mack was good. As I was watching him cooking stuff, and she was like, I forgot what she asked him about, how he was cooking things. Like, oh, you about to put that chicken that you just cooked over there on that plate with that raw chicken? Is that what you're finna do? Let me tell you, the look on Miss Mary's face, I said, she can't stand this man. And I was definitely cackling. Girl, she cannot stand this man. Ain't nobody, y'all not gonna convince me of anything otherwise. Child, Florida was not closed for a year. That's what I'm saying. 3 months at best. 3 months at best, girl. Mary gonna leave that man. She annoyed by him making food. That's how you know it's done. Exactly. But I feel like, I don't know how I feel. I think Miss Mary would rather him leave than her having to leave the home, right? I feel like she's comfortable in the home that she's in, so she probably would stay there and deal with him, but I think she would rather him go away and him leave, okay? Because she also said she don't really like change or something like that, so she's not going to want to leave, right? But I'm with you. She can't stand that man. She's very unhappy. Absolutely, Latrice. Mary is unhappy, and it's nice to see her vulnerable side. Yep. She's very unhappy. I'm glad she's opening up. What's up? This cat rocks. What's going on? Okay, Mary was not having it, honey. She was not having it at all. Child, I'm in Florida, and his ass just wanted to stay here. That's what it was. He wanted to stay there. He wanted to be away from his wife, so he was cool with that, okay? Lisa, Jenny, and Meredith, they decide to link up, okay? I kind of felt the way about seeing Lisa so much this episode for some reason. I'm like, I'm tired of seeing Lisa. What y'all trying to let us know? Is Lisa in charge of the girls or something? What's going on? I'm tired of Lisa, okay? They talked about, okay, so where they went, they ended up, and I've never done this before. I've always walked past and saw people do it at the mall where you take your feet and you put it into the bowl where the fish is and the fish just eat on your feet. And I'm like, girl, why you got these fish eating on this dead skin like that? Girl, that's the nasty. And then what do y'all do when they poop it out? Like, do y'all clean that area up? Like, what does that look like? Because here's the other thing. We know you ain't cleaning out this tank. If the mall is open, let's say 8 hours, right? The mall is open and you got different people coming into there to get their feet sucked on and munched on by these fish. How often is y'all changing it? Because if Mary Lou done came in there and sat down, right? And let's say all the spots are filled up and I'm coming in there like, hey, I want to get my feet sucked on and chewed on too. then I don't want my feet going in the same water as Miss Mary Lou, because I don't know what Miss Mary Lou feet has been. So something about that was a little awkward, and it just gave me unsanitary. Well, y'all let me know y'all thoughts, okay? Because I've never experienced that before. If you have, chime down in the comments. I need to know about this experience, because I can't take it, okay? That is very true. I would much rather have been in Florida than Utah. Okay, if I got to be stuck in, I kind of would rather be where it's probably hot. So when I go out, you know what I'm saying, I can actually go out and run to wherever I need to go versus being up there in Utah, honey. He don't ever get a break. I see why. But I low-key like Lisa. She's annoying AF, but her saying funny, like when she said Whitney trying to be CSI. Oh, okay, so she says funny stuff. Gotcha. Now, they ain't cleaning the tank. They gonna say the fish clean the water on their own. Baby, no. Nasty. No, sorry. I don't get with it. Let's move on, honey. Lisa says that she had such a great time when she was hanging out with her good girl, Miss Whitney, her newfound friend, Whitney. Jenny wanted to get some help regarding her marital issues right now. Y'all know that Miss Jenny wants to not have children, whereas her husband does. He wants her to have more kids. And we learned a little bit more. Because the last time she didn't tell us that she actually gave birth to a stillborn. She didn't tell us that. I only knew about the miscarriages. So I felt even worse for her, right? I felt even worse for her. Okay, she tells us that she had 9 miscarriages and she had a stillborn at 42 weeks. But I always thought you carried a child to 40 weeks, right? So you carry a child to turn 40 weeks. So she was already past her due date, 39, 40 weeks, somewhere up in there. So she was already past her due date, right? So I'm like, dang, the baby was already further along, and then everything was going well. But then hold on, wait. Was it a stillborn? Y'all let me know. Either way it goes, the baby passed and it was a loss. But now I'm over here being a bit more anal and analytical and stuff, right? I'm like, okay, was it truly a stillborn? Because the baby was breathing. Even though the heart rate was dropping, y'all had an emergency C-section, the baby was breathing. Do they classify those as stillborns? I thought when you have a stillborn, you give birth to a child that is not alive. Right, but the baby was alive for like an hour. They tried to resuscitate the baby, and then he was like, "No, don't resuscitate the baby." And I mean, I feel him on that a little bit, because it probably looked like it was hurting the child for them to try to resuscitate, or hurting the baby for them to try to resuscitate her. So it was like, just stop, okay? Because y'all gonna mess around and break something else, you know. So I really hate that for her. And her baby passed away, man. Okay, yeah. So she said that, yeah, that's what she said, a stillborn. So then I'm just wondering if the baby had breath in his body. I thought when you give birth to a stillborn, it's not there. You know, they have no life. Her husband is incredibly selfish, 1000% selfish. Absolutely. Do you know the mental stress a miscarriage can cause? And this woman had multiple. Exactly. And I'm glad that she said that. She was like, you know, 1 is enough. And it definitely takes a toll on you when it's 1. Okay. Even when you get past it, you really not past it. And this woman has had multiple, and then gave birth to a baby that ended up passing an hour later. Oh, baby, no. Okay, so he's highly selfish. She's probably gonna stay in the situation with him, child. But anyway, she says that when the baby was passing away, she couldn't comprehend everything because she was heavily sedated. So her husband went through that entire experience without her being present at the time. And that right there, the moment she said that, I said, he's trying to make up for that child that he's lost. Definitely. That's what he's trying to do. It's a very sad situation. I'm surprised she's still standing. I wonder how much therapy she had. I wonder if she had any. And I feel like the reason she's still standing is because of the 3 children that she does have, you know? So she may be looking at a lot of the losses she had, but at the end of the day, she was able to gain these 3 children that are healthy, that are great kids and stuff. So I think that's something that kept her going, right? I feel Dewey just wants to introduce the other women to the marriage. You know, I started thinking about that. I really started to think, like, is this where we was going with this, Dewey? Is this where you was ultimately trying to get to, which is introducing somebody else into what y'all got going on? Another selfish moment. Okay, I agree. He's making up for that child. It's a sad situation, child. Okay, let's go. Meredith barely showed any emotion when Jeannie was talking. Yikes. I'm wondering now if Miss Meredith even wanted to be there. She just needed to film and go about her business. Ooh, yikes. I wonder why she didn't emote during that moment. Jen goes to see the jeweler, honey. She talking about she want to do something symbolic for her friends because she want to get her friends back. She want her friends back so much so that she was considering getting these ladies a snake ring. And I say, you sure you want to do that? Because that's going to backfire very quickly. And if anybody's the snake, they looking at you like you the snake. So how you going to be a snake giving somebody else some snakes? So you basically calling them snakes. And girl, I'm like, this ain't gonna go over too well. This not. Okay, so she ended up settling for like a snowflake. The jeweler ended up convincing her to do a snowflake, and instead of doing a ring, she's gonna do a necklace. So I'm like, okay, that's cute. Really symbolic, I guess, you know, considering the fact that, okay, y'all up there with a whole bunch of snow anyway. So, okay, that sounds really nice. He said that it's gonna run her about $2,700 to $3,200. Now, it wasn't clear for me. I didn't know if he was like, I was like, I know you're not talking about $2,700 to $3,200 for 6 pieces. You mean each, right? And either way, I'm like, it must be enough for Miss Jen's budget at the time. Okay. At the time, it was good for Miss Jen's budget to be able to afford whatever. But did y'all notice how close Stu was to her? Did anybody pay attention to that? I do. I don't like the dynamic between the both of them, honey. Some is off. Something is off. It seemed like for a second there, like she was putting her little side duke on the man. I said, not your side duke, Miss Jen. What is this? Okay, you're a little too close. Scoot back just a little bit. Girl, I know it wasn't just me. Please tell me somebody else saw this, okay? 100, I thought he meant 27K. Yeah, he said $2,700 to $3,200. That's what he said, child. Have y'all already talked about Potomac? No, not yet, lady 6916. We have not yet, but we will get to it in probably like 15 minutes. We'll definitely be talking about that. The producer said we're gonna put this in 27K each. I don't think it was 27K. I think it was 2700. Okay, right, Danielle, with other people money. Meredith was way too much Botox and fillers in her face to emote. Ooh, she has way too much Botox and fillers in her face to emote. I love her, but let's keep it a book. Ooh, embarrassing. Embarrassing. Your scoop back just a little bit takes me out every time. Well, I mean, yeah, he looks super sketchy, right? Something was off, and he did need to scoop back just a little bit because you all up on this lady. You would have thought he was her husband and not her assistant. That's what I captured, okay? But let's move on. Heather goes and have the most awkward conversation that she could possibly have with her daughter about sex. And I didn't really understand why it was so hard for her to have this real talk conversation with her daughter. Maybe it was because the cameras was around. Maybe that's what it was, or, you know, I don't know. I mean, parents are different. You know, different people with different kids, you know, maybe it's a tough conversation to have and be like, okay, I don't want you having sex and this and that. But I did like the fact that she kept it real with her and said, you know, when you go to college, girl, it's going to be a lot of sex. It's going to be a lot of parties. All right. I'm like, Heather, one thing you forgot to mention is a lot of drugs. Okay. Let's be honest, your child is going to a PWI. All right. Now, when you go to them HBCUs, we don't be hearing about a lot of drugs. We just hear about a lot of weed. Okay. That's what be going on over there on them campuses, girl. But we don't be getting all them pills and all this other stuff y'all be getting access to, girl. Y'all be on some other elite stuff, okay? No, ma'am. All right, so that's another thing you should have mentioned to your child about. But it was a very awkward conversation. Her daughter thought it was hilarious, but I think her daughter is aware enough to know, okay? She kind of saw where her mama was going to, but she was there for the moment of having her mother cringe through that conversation. So it was kind of funny. Lisa and Whitney. So they go to this restaurant to hang out. I got to hear y'all thoughts about this one. So they go to this restaurant to hang out, and it happens to be Aubrey and Marco's restaurant. They own this restaurant, and these are also the individuals that were supposed to cater the party for Miss Girl. What is her name? Angie. Okay, they were supposed to cater the party, and y'all know that they ended up canceling, right? Now, girl, this is right. Lisa need destination. She need destination ring, honey, because Lisa, you were so late. Okay, what did nobody say? Okay, because Whitney was making a lot of sense for me. Okay, so y'all know the people were supposed to host this party, but they ended up canceling, right? What was interesting was when Aubrey came to serve them, she immediately came and led with what she said. I can't, like, out of nowhere, she barely asked the lady how she was doing, and she just jumped out there saying, I can't believe that Angie tried to play you like that. What? And I was so glad that Whitney caught her, because that didn't make any sense. And the girl, Aubrey, was getting ready to go on to tell Lisa the reason we canceled was because, you know, we couldn't host it on a Friday. Like, we have to be here. Another reason why we know you full of shit, Miss Aubrey and Miss Lisa, because if you know that you have to be in the facility on a Friday, why would you book her event? Why would you write it on your schedule and say that you plan to be there when you know that somebody had to be at the restaurant on a Friday or whatever night it was? So that's why it wasn't making any sense. And I was so glad that Whitney was paying. She was like, wait a minute, girl. No, ma'am. So this what we doing? This how y'all, so y'all trying to play me right now? Girl, why would you come to the table? I barely could get my food and barely could take a bite in it before you decide to bring up Miss Girl Angie in the party and the reason why you weren't there. So why would you do that? So what's interesting is Aubrey was getting ready to tell her, but if y'all paid attention, Aubrey really didn't have no answer for her because she was slick, caught off guard, and didn't know how to answer her for real, right? And I feel like Lisa's husband also knew this. I like looking at his facial expressions to me made me feel like he also knew this and was like, ooh, yeah, I didn't expect this to go this way. But, you know, I was encouraging you to like, yeah, let's go to this restaurant so they can just clear everything up. But it seems like her husband was already privy to what Miss Lisa was out here doing, in my opinion. Now, Whitney, like I said, she was starting to put two and two together. And she was like, nah, okay, this is staged. Love that she said it. Child, why would you bring this up as soon as you come out? And you just happen to talk about Angie. Girl, she not stupid. So Whitney feels like Lisa is basically trying to prove a point to come off as though like, hey, I didn't cancel that party or whatever. I believe Whitney. I really do. I mean, I feel like it was weird. I have to agree with Whitney. And Lisa's husband did look like he knew what was going on. I just agree with Whitney because at the end of the day, if you are a caterer, and you know you also own a restaurant, and in this restaurant, you have to be there on certain days, why would you write on your schedule and book this lady for a particular night that you knew you were not available for? Foolish. Okay, you could have came up with a better excuse. So I definitely agree with Whitney on that. Excuse me. Whitney gave me a black woman energy. She was like, don't play with me. Exactly. Like Whitney said, she's maybe blonde, but she ain't dumb at all. Lisa, a whole phony. That was a setup. She knows it was. Blondie isn't so dumb. Lisa talks to Whitney like she is stupid, but she talks stupid. She talks stupid her damn self. Oh, gotcha. Girl, a whole mess. Coincidence. Whitney and her husband got lost on the way, but the chefs only managed to come address the situation and apologize to Lisa when Whitney got there. No, ma'am. Exactly. You waited until she arrived to sit up there and do a whole apology. It was definitely planned. It was definitely a setup. And Whitney called it out for exactly what it was. I said, come on, Whitney, girl. That's my girl, honey. Lisa really thought Whitney wouldn't connect the situation. She really thought Whitney was a dumb blonde. She did. And what I'm kind of starting to see, I feel like Meredith, when I know Meredith is lying, she gets loud and she does the most, which is what she was doing. Even and Whitney ended up having to cut her off, like calm her down, like, girl, no, we just gonna move forward, like let it be what it is. Like, you know, I'm kind of learning Meredith's patterns to know that she's full of shit. And now I'm starting to be able to connect the friendship that she got with Jen because Jen does the same thing. Jen likes to get loud, irate, divert the conversation and stuff, do a lot of deflecting. Yes. So now I see why they cool. All right. So Lisa gets upset and says that she didn't do anything wrong, so she isn't apologizing for anything, because that's what Whitney wanted her to do, basically. Not so much as apologize, but really to acknowledge that, like, BIT, this is what you did. Okay. If I call you out on your stuff, you know, it is what it is. Whitney wants to move on at this point when Meredith started to kind of like change the conversation. So when Whitney said, you don't like to acknowledge stuff, she was like, well, yeah, I do. I do it with my husband. I do it with my kids all the time. Girl, we expect you to do it with them. We expect you to do it with your family. We're talking about the people that's not in your family, the outsiders. Like, that's what we talking about, your friends. Okay. So when she tried to shift the conversation, which is what she kind of does, right? Whitney pulled her in and was just like, girl, let's move on. Whitney shuts down Lisa and she wants to have more drinks. Like, girl, we're going to have shots and stuff. Like, let's go ahead and let's move on. Right. So that was that. Some part of me did wish she would have let Lisa say more so that she can continue to put that foot in her mouth. But she just cut her off, and Lisa had no choice but to go with it. But one thing's for sure is neither one of them really trust each other at this point. Lisa feeling hella stupid right now. Neither one of them trust each other. And that's just where they are with the friendship. What else ended up happening? Whitney wants to look to the future, but Lisa, like I told y'all, she's still pissed. So we'll see how they're going to develop. Mary and Meredith, okay? I feel like Mary and Meredith's friendship is a bit forced. I want y'all to see, I'm tired of seeing these shows of the franchises, the Housewives franchises, and you have that one black lady. And I just want y'all to get, and then what they do is they bring in another person, quote unquote, of color, like an Asian person or whatever. And no, girl, you got a black person, an Asian person, then you got about 4 or 5 other white folk. Can we get just one more friend of the show that can relate to the black woman over here? Because most people that are Asian or whatever, they're going to relate to the white folks, right? And that's fine. But I wish that they would give Miss Mary somebody else, because these conversations she be having be looking forced as all know what. When she be talking to Miss Meredith, okay? So they link up and they talk. Mary is awkward with all of these women. I don't think she really friends with none of them. Oh, you don't think she's friends with any of them? Probably not. She's probably just filming for the show, getting her coins, and going about her business. Okay. I think Whitney's husband is so cute. Oh, that SHI pisses me off too. Right. Like I just want them to work on that just a little bit. So Mary and Meredith, they link up, okay? They talk. Meredith speaks on her husband and him trying to, get back to Utah more often. Miss Meredith said that she's been super busy with work and everything, okay? Mary says that she likes the dynamic of Meredith and her husband because she gets that a long time to be away from her husband. And that's where Miss Mary is. She said that she likes the absence of her husband with him not being there because he was away for so long. She says that when she first started living with RHOP Sr., they never slept in the same room. He just told her like, hey, this is your room over here. And she thought that was awkward. Like, I shouldn't sleep in your room. Something not adding up for me. Like, I would have expected her to be glad to be in a separate room, considering the fact that was your grandmama's husband. Like, girl, let me hurry up and get this room. Sir, does it come with a key so I can lock the door? Like, what? I guess, honey. But she said that she thought it was awkward, but then she grew into a space where she really enjoys having her own. All right. She says that if she could change him, she definitely would. She would change him, child. She says that she also goes on to talk about her son. Very open, and says that her son is the reason for them really staying together, right? Because their marriage revolved around their son. So if the son moves out, or not if, but when he moves out, it's going to be kind of tough because they're going to be forced to look at each other, entertain each other and stuff. But she's not featuring it at all. She don't want to be an empty nester with him. Okay. Mary says that she doesn't want to get to know him once her son is gone because their entire marriage revolved around the son. Child, listen, I can't fault Miss Mary on that, girl. I mean, they have a different age range and everything, like, but girl, yikes, you should have never accepted that offer. Or at least they are taught to assimilate to white culture. Okay, let me go. I feel like I missed something. Mary must smoke that Mary before every scene, because baby, okay, Miss Mary is funny. That's the way it is all the time. Most people who come to this country assimilate the white culture. One token black person just to say they are diverse as if. Right. I feel like with Mary, she would be awkward, even if it was another black woman on the show. That could possibly be true. I feel like she would be less awkward if it was her black friend that she brought to the show, right? Versus them just placing a black person on the show. Possibly. But I ain't gonna lie, I'm not interested in seeing no more married church members. Girl, bring us somebody else that you met outside the church. Bring us, I don't want to see no more of your church members and you trying to plug your church. No, ma'am. Okay, wait, she married her grandfather? Let me watch this show. Yes, Levita, yes, she married her grandfather her step-grandfather after her grandmother passed away. She said that her grandmother passed everything down to her, house, money, the church, the position in the church, on top of her husband. Oh, they sound right, on top of her husband. But y'all know what I mean. Because she ended up being on top of the husband. But listen, the grandmama also passed down the husband to her too. Okay, yes, ma'am. Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Okay, so yeah. Okay. So get into it, honey. Yeah, you may have to check out first season. Her grandma was filed for that. But you know what's funny? Her family members came out and said that Miss Mary Beck was a lion. So I don't know what's true, honey. I don't know if the grandma was wrong or if Mary was wrong, child. I do know the overall situation is wrong. It's just wrong, girl. She done went and took her grandmama husband and then procreated with this man. Girl, let me continue to move on, okay? Not giving me color purple vibes, honey. Oh, goodness. You can't get into Housewives of Salt Lake City? Girl, I don't know. I mean, maybe later on in the season. I mean, I feel like when I started watching it last year, Mary's story drew you in because you want to know more about who is this lady that went and laid down with her step granddad and had a child with him. Like, who is this woman? So it kind of draws you in. And then Jen Shaw, her antics, her craziness just kind of helped with the show as well. And it's going to get real crazy with Miss Jen Shaw because this woman from the she was out here. If y'all ever saw that movie called I Care a Lot on Netflix, when they was pretty much out here scamming the old folks and taking their money and stuff like that, Miss Jen Shaw got caught up in a situation like that, honey. And she got some charges on her where she could face up to, 20 years or something in prison. So they're going to show all of that fallout this season. So, I mean, you might get into it if you don't, you know what I'm saying? I understand. But it's pretty entertaining to me. Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, good, y'all. It's entertaining, low key, and they got money, right, princess? Like, it's you just give it a chance, just a little bitty chance. If you've ever seen Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, I think you'll like Salt Lake City as well. I wonder how her son feels about that. My goodness, child. I wonder how her son feel about it too. I wonder how he feel about that too, knowing that, oh, girl, let me go to the next thing, girl. That's a tough conversation. I wish she would have had that on camera, honey. But let's move on, y'all. right, Lavita, popcorn, honey, popcorn, okay? Let's go ahead and get into Jenny and her husband. All right, so they go out. I guess they ski. They do something out there on the snow. Her husband and her end up talking about kids. Y'all know her husband wants more children. Okay, husband wants more children. And she's not too sure about that. She's not sure. It's not that she's not sure. She's sure on her end that she doesn't want that because she had the 9 miscarriages. She's had the stillborn or the passing of the child she gave birth to. So that's a lot within that. And like I said, I feel like he's trying to fill a void, which he kind of ended up confirming that's what was going on. He says that he is still hurt. And speaks on not being able to replace her. But I'm like, sir, that's exactly what you're trying to do. You're trying to replace the daughter that you lost. All right. So did y'all notice how he started to cry and tear up? And I felt like he was using his tears to get sympathy from his wife, to see his hurt in an effort to go along with what it is that he wanted from her, which is to have another child. I didn't like that. I felt like he was using his tears against her for sure. And I'm glad that she was like, okay, I see you crying, but and she was like, no, she isn't down for doing that because she knows what could possibly be at risk for her should she, get pregnant, give birth. And then outside of that, she don't feel like running behind no child. And I don't blame her. This lady getting older, I don't blame her at all. So then he asked her about a surrogate. Since she don't feel like running around after another child. No, I'm lying. He asked her for a surrogate since she does not want to give birth to another child. She said, are you sure you want to run around after another child, take care of a toddler and all this? Do you want to do all of this extra work? And I feel like it's unfair to Jenny because Jenny already does all of the extra work. She had her own businesses, multiple ones. She left those businesses so that she could be at home with the kids. And now she does everything for the kids and her husband. So you want her to go and have another child and do that as well? And you wasn't even, that's what I feel like if he probably was a bit more active, then maybe he'll see where she's coming from. I don't know, but all of the extra work would fall on her. And I think that's so unfair. So when she said that she didn't want to have, she didn't even want to run after another child. This is when he came out and said, well, what about a sister wife? A sister wife? Where did that go? How did we get here? Okay. So then we learned that it's not odd for their culture, okay? I think his dad had multiple wives, her dad had multiple girlfriends. Like, it's actually a normal thing, okay, within their culture. But she said it's not something that she wants for her family, and I do not blame her on that. So when somebody mentioned earlier in the review about how they feel like he's using that as an excuse to want to introduce somebody else, that's how I'm starting to feel. I feel like this conversation they've had numerous of times. He knows that it's not changing when it comes to his wife. And I think he already knew that his wife does not want to run after another child, but he just threw all the options out there so that he could land on the sister wife part. That's how I felt. And then I love how he tells her that he tells her that, well, I want to do this for our family, because she was like, are you being serious, right, about the sister wife? He said, well, I want to do this for our family. She said, no, this isn't about our family. This is about you being selfish. I said, you better call him on his, Jenny. Call him on his, because that's exactly what it is. It's about him and about what it is that he wants. And he's continuing to not take into consideration what it is that his wife wants. And that's up. Okay, let me see what y'all are saying. Mercy, I didn't know that's how it was going down in Salt Lake City. Yes. Dewey is doing the most and is emotional manipulation. Absolutely. Okay, it's a play to introduce another wife, and it's disgusting either way. He's basically saying risk your life or accept this new normal. Do you hear what I say? No regard for her at all. Don't give not one lickety split. Don't give up at all. It's not about her. All about him. Sister wife, he said, we going to do the Utah thing. Yikes. Okay. How do you not see your spouse's hurt? This is sad to me. Exactly. How do you not see that? He doesn't care. He doesn't want to see that, but he put his tears on for her so that they can affect her and make her feel away. I was like, boy, you are, see, Dewey, we was liking you, but that has changed, Dewey, within like 2 episodes. You got us looking at you sideways, sir. I would have had to tell them to stop filming just so I could not slap them just one time, then cry about it after, like I was sorry. Cry about it afterwards like I was sorry. But his grandpa had that lifestyle, so he was raised to think it was normal. Y'all talking about Miss Mary Mack and her son? Yikes. Let him try it. I bet that daughter get him together like Gizelle's girls do her. Try. When I say I'm loving me some Jenny, that might change, but I love her. I'm looking forward to seeing it. Like, so far, her storyline is interesting. My eyebrows did raise when I see that she's going to get slick with Miss Mary on next week. And I'm wondering, did Mary do something to you? Did somebody tell you something about Mary that makes you not like Mary? Or could it be that it's a misplacement of anger because you got your own stuff going on within your own house and you're trying to put it off on her? So we're going to have to sit back and watch and see how all of this is going to play out with Miss Mary and Miss Jenny. And I actually expected Jenny to get into it with Jen more than anybody else, but it seems like she about to get into it with Miss Mary, so we'll see how that's gonna go. Be careful, Miss Jenny, girl. But all right, as I got y'all on in here, honey, we about to switch gears. Y'all make sure y'all go ahead and hit that like button for me as I pull up my good stuff so that we can get into Real Housewives of Potomac. Okay, make sure you guys hit that like button for those of you that are in here, honey. And we are about to switch over and get into some things, okay? Is y'all ready? Is y'all ready? Is y'all ready? Not the hood Asian. Is y'all ready? Let's go ahead and get into, hold on, wait a minute, girl. Let me refresh, because I got over 160 people up here watching this video, girl, but I only got like 60 likes. Girl, y'all shady. Y'all funny acting. I don't like that, girl. Y'all shady, girl. Let's work on it a little bit. Let's work on it just a little bit, girl. Let's work on it just a little bit, okay? But anyway, girl, we're gonna go ahead and scoot over anyway. So let's get into Real Housewives of Potomac, okay? Y'all know last week things went down at the table between Miss Ashley and Miss Candiace and Chris and stuff. And Chris got upset because he wanted to remove Miss Candiace from the table. And Candiace was like, I'm not going nowhere till I get my final words out. Okay, on this chihuahua, ma'am, you gonna let me say what it is I gotta say. Now, if you need to exit, you can go stage left, but I'm gonna sit right here in this table, okay? And I may have to call somebody else out while I'm down here, right? So Chris go outside, a scholar man go out there to check on him, get him back inside. Miss Candiace finally gets up from the table, goes over there to check on Chris. Okay, she goes over there to check on Chris, see how Chris is doing, honey. And you know, he wants her at sometimes he want her to just let the SHI go. And I'm like, no, I'm gonna hold on to it as long as these hoes gonna hold on to it, okay? Okay, because Miss Ashley sit at the table and she's still holding on to shit, and you think that I'm not gonna say that to her at all. If she gonna hold on, I'm gonna hold on, and bitch, we're gonna be playing tug of war for a minute. Okay, because she ain't have to bring that up. She ain't even have to mention me, girl. She up here talking to you, all right? And you wrong for letting her disrespect you anyway. All right, but whatever, they gotta resolve. Okay, they gotta resolve. They ended up coming back to the table, right? So they come back to the table, and Karen, Miss Grandam tells the guys, if y'all continue to let y'all ladies keep fighting and arguing the way that they are, they won't make it to look my age, okay? They won't make it to look like this when they get my age. I say, not you, Miss K. Not you, Miss K. Not you that went and had that face sucked back tight, girl. Not you, okay? You don't even look your age at your age, but girl, your surgeon did a really great job. They did, okay? Miss Karen does look good, but girl, let's be honest, okay? Let's be honest. Compared to that, girl, you is not aging backwards. You're definitely going fast forward. Fast forward, okay? Very quickly. But you got the money and you went and did what you need to do, girl. And I'm not fully mad at it, okay? But let's go ahead and move on. All right, now Robyn and Gizelle done found him a hotel. Robyn was like, girl, it's a hotel up the road. But girl, it's 2.5 stars. And Gizelle said, oh, girl, we can't do that. She said, well, it's a Marriott that's like 30 minutes out. So they were really battling between, you know, whether they were going to drive out too far or they just going to go up the road. And I'm like, girl, I would have had to drive for that hotel, girl. But if y'all was going to drive, y'all should have just drove all the way back to the damn house, to be honest with you, because y'all really didn't want to be there. I mean, the whole time Robyn sat up there, I said, Robyn looks so unhappy, so uncomfortable. You could tell production forced her to show up to this event because she did not want to go. It was all production, girl. But anyway, Robyn says that Wendy is a terrible host. And I said, well, you're a terrible guest because you sat up there and said that you weren't going to come. And then you turned around and came without her knowing that you were going to come. And then you expected accommodations to be made for you. No, ma'am. You get what you get when you get there. The fuck? Okay, so, okay, whatever. Wendy informs them about the boat ride. She says, girl, we are going to be doing a lunch on the boat or whatever, lunch on the water. So everybody get ready for that on tomorrow. So that was exciting for them to do. Robyn had to get that check, honey. She did. Had to go and get that check. Not 2.5 stars. They had bed bugs in that. Okay, they did in that motel. I'm sure it was bed bugs. Ooh, I'm cringing already. Robyn couldn't miss that paycheck. I think I read that one. How you gonna be a bully and a crabby? By Robyn and her everything I miss at home as ooh. And then add anything to not a single thing to the trip, girl. Not a single thing to the trip. They really did not have to come. They came, they bitched the whole time. Did y'all catch Jizzy not answering where they were staying? I did kind of catch that. Didn't they do like a FaceTime and she didn't really fully answer where they ended up going? Interesting. Okay, the High Yellow Collective pissed me off. Okay, yes, drive 30 minutes. They had to stay to get paid. I don't blame them for getting a hotel. They up there in the attic. Whitney goes, I'm not finna fault you on that because when I looked at it, I was like, what in the plantation is this? And I will say, booking this house, and you know, when Robyn and Gizelle were leaving, they showed the whole image of the home, the night view. And I'm like, how does not all of the rooms have a bathroom though? In all honesty, the way this house set up, like how do all of the rooms not have a bathroom? Like it was a little, you know, confusing, I must say, right? But you get what you get once you arrive at the last minute. It is what it is, okay? IDK, what's worse? Robyn saying her periods, her period and her, what? Robyn saying her period, Gizelle and her foot, or Ashley and her milk. Girl, I think it was probably Robyn and her period because her mood was just trash. That's because they went to the bedbug motel. You get what you give. You didn't want to give them a bathroom at your house. You didn't get one on the trip. Exactly. That's exactly how I was feeling. Okay, that karma hit you a little quicker than what you were expecting. Wendy said that there was a whole other master bedroom that one of them could have stayed in. That's why she didn't care about their theatrics. Interesting. Okay, let's keep going because everybody done got on the bus at this point. So once they get on the bus, G starts highlighting Miss Candiace playing around in her man's head or whatever. And then Mia says, when you F up, you make up. And I'm like, shut up, Mia, right? But Candiace looked like she wanted to say something to her and she just looked around like, and she just went back to what she was doing. She really wanted to say something to Mia, okay? But she held that tongue, okay? Now, meanwhile, Ascala's husband, Dre, he's sitting over there in the back, and he is like, when is this trip over? Did y'all notice that? Ascala's husband was not here for this trip. Ascala's husband would have much rather had gone the fuck home. Okay. He looked like he was just over it. Karen notices how miserable Miss Robyn looks. Okay. She's talking about how miserable Robyn looks. And she goes on to say in the confessional that she thinks that one should have shown up, or at least one should surprise her from time to time. I agree with Karen. I told y'all on last week's review, I feel like, listen, if you're going to benefit from the finances of this show, then I feel like you should also show up, right? Show up to some couple stuff. Show up. I don't know why. I don't know why he don't. I don't know what the excuses are. I guess, honey. Let's go ahead and move on, okay? So Chris wants to play spades when he get back. And I'm like, I know that's right, Chris, okay? Put me on the spades table, honey. I'm with you all day. But G said, I ain't doing none of this. I'm going to go to sleep. I'm going to give me some coup de trois tonight. Period. Okay? So Mia was like, oh, okay, I guess that's all I mean to him. I'm just on coup de trois. I was like, yeah, that's why he was going to the strip club. That's all it was, okay? But he realized it's cheaper to keep her because he was paying you a little too much money. All right, so let's go ahead and go on. G continues to talk about his erection. G. Yeah, I don't know what to say about G. If this ain't a black Michael Darby, I don't know what to say. He kept talking about, because my erection is like, and I'm just like, what the fuck? How did we get here? G? Okay, G says that the other guys are average. And this is when Candiace had to speak up to let him know, no, sir, this brown penis over here is not average, okay? It's definitely giving what needs to be given, okay? And then I think they said that Chris is no. I think G said, no, his penis ain't brown, it's white or whatever. And then Mia said, well, let me see it. You did. Let me see it. So he's about to show it. Did y'all see Candiace's face? Like, you gotta put this, you gotta sit it down. You better put that shit. She would look like she was upset. Then she tells him, you know, you're making Wendy uncomfortable. And then here goes Gizelle holding up something. And me too. And I'm like, you would be uncomfortable, huh, Gizelle? Okay, girl, let's move on. Okay, so Candiace, G. Robyn. So when G starts talking about how he was about to show his thing too, Robyn said, do it. And I said, that's the most excitement Robyn has shown on this trip. When G was preparing to whip out that thing. Now, mind y'all, she also said in the after show that she did not mind the flirtations coming from G. Okay? She didn't mind it at all. And I feel like that's probably because one's not being as flirtatious with his own wife or whatever. So she was really excited, okay? Journey says, I cannot with the creepy old man is G. It's worse. He is a nasty, creepy old man. I feel like he and Michael are on the same playing field. Until G goes beyond just talking about the sexual antics and actually following up to grope multiple production staff or cast members, then Michael Darby can't possibly be worse than G. So until he arrives to that occasion, then we might consider G to be worse than Michael. That's just what I think. Let's see what else y'all are saying. It was Candiace's face for me. She don't play that age. Y'all heard Ashley as saying Michael better, like, saying Michael's better, like, girl, let's not say that. And I'm going to get to that, right? Because after Robyn talked about how, do it, and G almost whipped that thing out, and he didn't whip that thing out. He ended up sitting his little self down, honey, okay? Ashley says in the confessional that everyone loves to talk about Michael, but at least he knows how to conduct himself when he's around a group of people that he does not know. Baby, it ain't nothing like a Bravo flashback clip for that ass. Michael, baby, G was about to unzip his pants, baby. Michael had his pants all the way unzipped and damn near falling down off him. Michael tried to jump off the boat, not ride the boat, jump off of the boat, ma'am, okay? All right, that's what Michael didn't even have his shoes on his feet. And Gizelle had to walk up and tell you, Ashley, we don't do this, okay? Gizelle had to tell you that, Ashley, we don't do this right here, girl. I can't. And then she want to talk about, at least Michael knows how to carry himself and control himself when he's around a group of people. Well, then how was he last year at the engagement of Juan around some people he didn't know? How was he last year when he ran amok in the motherfucking palace? Literally, girl. And you can control him. Production can control him or anything. So how was he last year, Ashley? Right. Girl, you're so full of shit. But anyway, like I said, yes to Bravo for the flashbacks, okay, to show her just how trifling her husband is. And this is, and see, if y'all do feel like G is worse, that flashback is enough to show y'all that Michael is actually worse than G. Okay, I think G is more obvious because he flirts with women. Michael was mostly assaulting men, so people were more concerned about him being gay than the men he was assaulting. But at the end of the day, I feel like with G may say some fly stuff, and I still stand by it until G goes as far as to physically touch another person, right? That's why Michael is wrong in my book, because I feel like, or worse in my book, because whether he was touching on men or women, he still was going as far as to assault someone else. And I haven't seen that from G yet. But it don't mean G won't get there and he won't surpass him. I just know I haven't seen it yet to be able to classify G worse. In Michael's quote unquote defense, Michael has been on the show longer, so there's going to be a longer list that we're going to look at in comparison to G being in his first season. That's what I'm thinking. Ashley, girl, shut the fuck up. Your man allegedly groped crew members, okay? And only became real good buddy friends with Monique after Monique claimed she couldn't find the tape down in the basement. Girl, but you bragged about how y'all got cameras all over the place. Yikes. Mike didn't have anything to show. That's why he was quick to pull down his so Ashley as stating that Michael knows how to conduct himself in public. BIT, what? It's the delusional for me, okay? Absolutely. Mia just stands by and smile at G and his antics. And I wonder why that is. I wonder if there's a bad side to G that we probably have yet to see. Not probably, we have yet to see. I wonder if there's a really bad side to him that we have not seen when he probably gets drunk and she tries to stay out of the way or not do anything to kind of like trigger him to make it bigger than what it is. So she'll, sit back, laugh at his jokes, give him a kiss in the middle of some BS or something like that. I'm wondering what that's about. I'm looking forward to learning more about the dynamic between, of their relationship, the dynamic of their relationship. We know Mia has mom issues, but she does also have dad. Yeah, she does have daddy issues because her daddy wasn't right. She has some issues with her dad. I think her dad also, unfortunately, I think he committed suicide or something. Did he die by suicide or did he die by AIDS? I'm not sure which one actually. I think it could have been AIDS. Maybe I'm wrong. Eddie should have punched Chris because he was too close to Wendy's face to be doing that ish. Now he was too close, but Wendy having her mouth open the way that she had it open and not looking away was enough to be like, girl, be careful. For something roll out into it, okay? All this hollering. She wasn't shielding her face either. She was like, ah! Whitney was like, ah! I'm like, girl, close your mouth, honey. She wasn't like, ah! She was like, ah! So she wanted to see what was going on. Okay, so if he needed to grab somebody, he should have grabbed his wife. He should have grabbed on his wife before he tried to grab on Chris. Okay, I think there's a bad side for sure. That let help us say life is precious. So she lets him be himself. Exactly, girl. I gotta know more about it, honey. Let's get into Chris and Candiace, okay? Chris and Candiace. Chris says that he is tired of them arguing, okay, and then going at husbands and stuff. He says that he was making strides with Ashley, so he thought he was making strides with Ashley, okay? Candiace goes on to say that Ashley took a side road because that's what raggedy BITs do. Chris goes on to let her know that Ashley was playing her pretty much. Ashley was playing her and she got you. She got you. You fell right on into what she was trying to do. So that's your fault. Chris tells Candiace that Ashley really isn't that bad. And actually, Candiace actually agrees with her. She also kind of said that in the after show. She talked about how they actually had a moment where they bonded with each other. So there's that. What else? He said Candiace let Chris to know that, Candiace also says, listen, I'm done for the week. I've had my yelling matches. I've done what I've done. You don't have to worry about it anymore. I'm going to fall back. I'm going to chill out. Okay. Don't worry about it. So that's what all happened. Next thing you know, we can see where Robyn and Gizelle sit down and they're talking because they're about to get ready to prepare to head out, okay, and escape and go down to their hotel, okay. I disagree. Ashley is that bad. I feel like I agree with you, Amina. I feel like Ashley is that bad. I just think Chris says things to lower the drama. Right? To lower the drama amongst the ladies. But I think that Ashley is definitely bad. Terrible. Okay, laugh my ass off. Ashley is fun to pick with for Candiace. Candiace has said that often the part of Ashley she can't stand the most is Michael and her sticking by him. And I get that, to be honest. Y'all peep that production stay zooming on Chris drink like, damn, bravo, we get it. He's drinking. I didn't really notice that. I didn't notice how much they zoom in on Chris's drinking. I didn't even pay attention to that. That went over my head. I low-key think Chris wants Ashley. Watch what I'm telling you. I don't think he wants Ashley at all. I don't see that. I mean, I don't know. You can have a point, Omar. I don't see that. Candiace stay on Ashley next. She does. Hi, Jamie. Honey, I hollered when Ray told Karen you went for Gizelle's foot and not the neck. See, Ray be having jokes, but can he handle the jokes that come back? Chris was a dumb to think that Ashley is a good person. Chris is tired of being her daddy. Eddie said he was ready to go home. I know Eddie was ready to go home, child. All right. So like I said, Robyn and Gizelle, they preparing to get ready to head out. They asking Mr. Scholar to help them with the bags and stuff, so they going downstairs, okay? Gizelle, for some reason, is super bothered by the fact that Wendy is paying her absolute dust. She's not paying her no attention, and Gizelle is super, super bothered by that. And I'm like, okay. Mia comes out. She sees them leaving. You know, she's talking to them. She said, listen, if my husband, if G would have knew what was going on, he would have tried to give up the bed and let you have it. And Gizelle said, well, girl, listen, I'm glad that y'all, you care because the hostess don't give a damn. And I said, why should she? Why should she care? Girl, this is a trip that you said you weren't even going to come on. And then once you get on the trip, you want to complain, but it's okay for you to not offer people a bathroom or a restroom, but then be upset that you ain't got one when you get on the trip. Girl, shut up. Robyn says that it's men in this house and she isn't comfortable. That didn't even make no damn sense. That didn't make no sense because you was just sitting in the car with these men and you was just up there like, Hercules, Hercules. You was just telling G to take it down, okay? You was just saying, do it. But then now you get back to the house and you uncomfortable. Girl, don't be using these men as an excuse for how you feeling, girl, I guess. All right. Robyn says that what if Juan came? Were they going to share a room with Gizelle? And I'm like, yeah, y'all probably were. Y'all would have been all right. You let Gizelle in on everything else y'all got going on here. Might as well. And he ain't come. So we don't have to use the hypotheticals over here. He didn't come. Okay. Now, had he come, they could have made some change, switched it, changed it, rearranged it. Somebody probably would have gave up their room for y'all. Ashley ain't bring nobody. So Ashley probably would have swapped out and been in that room with Gizelle while you and Juan get the room that she was in. And you so pressed about Miss, what's her name? Wendy, not caring that you left. But what about your good Judy Ashley that called y'all and updated y'all about everything? What about Miss Ashley, dear? Ashley didn't seem like she gave a damn about y'all leaving either. But you want to put all this energy over there on Wendy. Girl, shut up. I couldn't take it. What else? Oh, did y'all notice how Robyn was kind of catching an attitude with Mia? And I ain't really like that for real. Because Mia kind of wanted them to stay. She talked about the rooms being rearranged. She was like, no, I'm not. It's men in this house. I'm not, da. And I'm like, girl, if you're going to go. Just go, ma'am. You ain't got to act like that. She looking out for you, girl. She's like one of the two people that actually do care. Okay. My question is under the letters of AKA, how do they still get along? Wouldn't Dr. Jackie step in and have one of her good old lemon squeezes or something? What do you mean? My question is under the letters of AKA. My question is under the letters or AKA. What? How do they still get along? Who still get along? When Dr. Jackie, I'm confused because the only people that are in sororities on the show are Gizelle and Robyn. And Robyn is a Delta and Gizelle is an AKA. So they're not in the same sorority. So I'm a little confused on what your question is. Wendy did say in the after show that Gizelle and Robyn had another room next to theirs that was a master. I'm glad you said it. I'm gonna check out the after show so I can bring you guys another video on that. Oh yes, I'm sorry. That's right. Wendy is definitely an AKA as well. That's right. I forgot about Wendy. So you're saying because they're both in the same sorority that they should have come to terms and had some type of, sit down, lemon squeeze, came together or whatever. Girl, that don't be real. That don't be real all the time. No, ma'am. There isn't always unison in that. I think I read that one. Okay. I thought Wendy said on Watch What Happens Live that they have another master bed. Yep, that's what they seem like they're saying. There was another room for them to use, but they chose to do the most and give us theatrics and antics and stuff. Couldn't wait to run her mouth to Gizelle and Robyn. And again, this time she was only there for half the nights, okay? They had 3 beds. One would have slept in the 3rd bed. Not Juan and Michael at the crib spending quality time. I don't know if Juan truly likes Michael like that, but I think that Michael really likes Juan like that. I don't know, but y'all let me know y'all thoughts about it, okay? Okay, where else was I? Okay, Wendy is aware about them leaving and feels like they're trying to make a moment. So she didn't really give a damn. She didn't come downstairs. She didn't interact with them. She didn't see what was going on. None of that. So I didn't fault Wendy on that. If you want to leave, baby, go. The next morning, Gordon and Mia downstairs talking about Candiace, okay, and how she thinks that Candiace needs to grow up. And I'm like, well, girl, you need to grow up as well, okay? Everybody need to grow up, all right? Because everything that comes out of your mouth, Miss Mia, you're always talking about a boss this, boss that, and how you got money here and how you got money there. You always look at people as though they're beneath you for some reason. So you need to also grow up as well. Mia FaceTimes her kids and her mom, so all seems to be going well over there. Karen calls Gizelle tacky for leaving the house. But it's funny because Karen act like she don't like Robyn. But even though I feel like Robyn was the driving force of wanting to get a whole nother hotel, Karen continues to drag Gizelle, to be honest, more than she dragged Miss Robyn. But okay. Karen says that it wouldn't be a girls' trip if they didn't try to pull a stunt. Ashley's upstairs talking to Michael. And what was interesting is that Michael has been with the kids. Okay, one of them did well. They went to sleep and stayed asleep. The other one was up all night and he called him a bad one, a bad boy. And Ashley does not like when he refers to her son as a bad child. Okay, and I'm like, well, shit, Dean old enough to be called a badass child if he a bad child. Just because you want to sit up there and censor how you talk to him and be like, no, woo, 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 whatever, girl. A spade just might be a spade at times, but I do understand she wants to probably use, just be a little more delicate with the things that she may say to the child. But if he's talking to you, because I can't remember if Michael called the baby to his face that you're a bad boy. I guess she doesn't want to get that in his psyche or something. He's talking to you. So if his ass bad, he bad. She's something, I don't refer to you as bad Mickey, so I don't want you to refer to him as bad Dean. And I'm like, that's probably your fucking problem right there. Okay, call him a bad Mickey because Mickey been bad as hell for a few seasons. Okay, call him what he is. Anyway, G is about to start cooking. They came downstairs asking G, is he about to cook? He said, yeah, for me and Mia, the rest of y'all gonna have to fend for yourselves. I said, come on, G, make them get in there and cook. Make them get in there and cook their own food. And it looked like everybody ended up pitching in for the most part, okay? But this was interesting to me. Did anybody catch the fact that Mia was walking around in her lingerie? I was like, Mia, why you in your, go put on something. Everybody else in here is clothed out of respect for their husbands, but you out here walking around in your lingerie and your see-throughness. Girl, what is this? And Miss Karen, okay, you've always been a woman that's about etiquette and things, and how you said Wendy isn't of Potomac. Is what Miss Mia got on cooking lingerie in the house of Potomac? As you came down with your pajamas on and you kept pulling your top. Y'all saw how Karen kept pulling that top to close, pulling it up. So you over here trying to cover yourself and stuff. Why is it okay for Miss Mia to be walking around in her lingerie, whether she looked good in it or she didn't? Why? Thank you so much for the super chat, James Pot the third, honey. 400K is not a lot of money in Maryland, not with Mia's lifestyle. Yikes, honey, it's not a lot. Girl, I'm willing to believe that. I'm willing to believe that. Up there in the higher you go up north, girl, it seems like the prices go up and the square footages go down. So I am sure, okay, that money ain't getting her a whole lot of nothing. Why didn't Mia throw some of her money to get a chef and a maid after complaining so much? Why didn't she? Okay, trying to talk down on this trip. She didn't have to do that. I can't wait to see Mia host the trip next season. It's gonna be your turn. Let it be Mia's turn to host the trip for the ladies. And see how decked out she gonna do it. And we're expected to believe that Mia wore ball gowns at the strip club. Oh my God, baby, they trying hardest to rebrand Predator Michael, but bravo, we haven't forgotten. We have not. So y'all can rebrand him all y'all want. Okay, some things are just gonna stick, and that's gonna be something that's gonna stick. Yeah, Mia is trying hard to be on our list so she can stay on the show. Child, a whole mess. Speaking of Ashley, I'm tired of her inappropriateness. You don't need to talk about your vagina or pop your boob out at every scene. It's for shock factor. I don't know what Miss Ashley be up there doing. Dean is up late doing the forensic accounting for Erica Jane. He needed a shot. He was upset. Girl, stop it. Oh my goodness. Dean was up there doing the Lord's work. Him being up so late. I think Karen like Gizelle more than Robyn. They got a love-hate relationship. Karen don't care about Robyn. Robyn just I mean, that could be true. That could be very true, though. That's probably why I don't know. Girl, it's for entertainment purposes only, child. Ashley, later on, we see them in the kitchen. Ashley decides to FaceTime Miss Gizelle. She wanted to check on her and Robyn to see where they are. Karen tells Gizelle that her departure was theatrical. Karen tells her that she didn't even say bye to the host, Wendy. And Gizelle says it's because the host didn't say SHI to me. And that's when Wendy ran around there and said, girl, you're lying. You're a liar. That's what that is, girl. You're lying. I said, come on, Wendy, tell her what it is. Wendy came around quickly, told her that. And then Gizelle had the audacity to say that Wendy was angry. I'm like, what is these buzzwords? How is she angry? She the one who stayed at where she was at. You the one who left. And you the one that was upset, talking about your foot and how you had to go up and downstairs. Girl, you left because you were angry. Talking about this lady was angry. And then Wendy says, no, Gizelle is just confrontational. I said, no, Gizelle's not confrontational. You snapped off on this lady in Williamsburg. And she had no confrontation for that. She literally sat back because she didn't know how to handle that. So Gizelle is not confrontational. Irritating, yeah. Confrontational, no. Later at breakfast, Wendy asked Mia if she wants to talk with Candiace. And Mia says, sure, if Candiace wants to talk, then I'm all for talking. Like, that's fine. And Mia says in the confessional that she wants to know what is it in Candiace that she felt the need to attack her. And I was laughing my ass off like, attack her? Attack you? No, ma'am. You started with her, Mia. That's the number one. So what is it within you that you feel the need to look down on others as though you're a boss handed down by way of your husband? Like, you got everything all together and you're better than everybody, and what they got going on is quote unquote low budget. What is it within you that you feel so comfortable to ask somebody's mama that you don't know and the daughter that you're getting to know about the finances of what's going on within her household and whether or not her husband is getting paid? Why is that any of your business? So what is going on within you that you always have to reference your money and how much you make and what you got? And I make $450,000 and whoop de whoop de whoop. Like, girl, what's going on within you? Let's talk about that. Anyway, Ray finally arrives. Karen go ahead and she gives him the update and everything about what all took place prior to him getting there. What else happened? Ray greets everybody. So, you know, Gizelle and Robyn pull up. Ray done greeted everybody. He asked Gizelle what happened to the foot. And she said, fooling around with your wife. And then Ray turns around and tells Karen that, you know, Gizelle said that she broke her toe because of you, but how could you miss her neck? And I said, see, Ray, good one. It's funny. Yes, Ray. Yes. But when Gizelle come back and fire your ass up, then we don't want to hear no complaints from your wife. Okay. Let's be clear about that. Let's move on. There is a reason G was strongly picking with Ashley. Ashley and Mike may seen her at the strip club. G was the highest bidder. To make sure the women wouldn't come down on her for being a stripper, she hurried up and told the sob story about her mom to hold sympathy. Mia hasn't been honest on this show. I can believe that. Except for Karen, Mia has argued with every woman on the show this season. It's looking like she's the common denominator. She has definitely argued, got into it, came sideways at every person on this show, including a scholar, even if we have not seen it. She's even come at Miss Scholar. So she's came at everybody, trying to fish and find her place in the show for sure. Okay. I don't care what Bravo show us. I will never like Mia. Oh, and there's that. Okay, I can't take Mia seriously. She is an imposter and a clout chaser. Ooh, y'all let Miss Mia have it, right? Confrontational is when you address problems head on. Gizelle is sneaky, okay? Right, Wendy can't wait to get around there to that phone, honey. Let's go ahead and get it to everybody being on this boat, because this is when it got real messy. Hey, Mia. Messy Mia, how are you, honey? Okay, everyone is on the boat. Robyn looked miserable. Like I said, this entire trip, Robyn looked like, girl, I'm over it. Robyn does tell a scholar that Wendy didn't properly plan, but she also says that she didn't think that it was directed at anybody, or, you know, I guess it was like not Wendy's fault in so many words. And I'm like, so if that is the case and that's what you believe, that it was poorly planned, but she wasn't trying to do it to affect somebody, why are you trying to put all of this off on her? Like she was just absolutely wrong. That makes no sense. And then you also got to look at yourself and be like, now, had I actually told Wendy I was going to be coming, she would have been able to make even better accommodations, right? So, yeah, no, I didn't like that at all. A scholar says that she wants everyone to get along. Maybe they can talk. And then Robyn says that she isn't here for talk because she feels like everything can turn into a debate. So she don't want to debate or have, you know, that type of conversation with her. She says she isn't interested and wants limited interaction when it comes to Wendy. Okay. Well, I hope Mia gets demoted to a friend and a scholar take her spot. That would be interesting. I just think a scholar should be on the show, period. I do. If they add her as a housewife, I wouldn't be mad because I feel like other shows have more housewives than this one. All right. So then where am I? Okay, so while Robyn and a scholar are talking, this is when Mia comes downstairs because they're talking about the friendship that she has with Wendy. Robyn has with Wendy, or had with Wendy. Mia comes down, eavesdropping, getting her little fruit and stuff like that so she can have some stuff to take upstairs. And that's what I don't be understanding. I could never be a person to take a story, not have all the details, and then go run back to somebody and tell them something in confidence. Like I know exactly what was said. I couldn't do that. I couldn't do it. I wouldn't feel comfortable just running around like, oh yeah, so she said this and that, and not have all of the facts straight. Yeah, no, because then that's gonna be, people gonna be looking at me like I'm crazy or I'm messy. Like, no, I couldn't do that. Robyn says that she thought she and Wendy were good, and she thought that their friendship was on the right path, but then she thinks that she could have been wrong about that. A scholar says that it makes her feel weird that she has two friends that she's cool with, and she actually found, connected with Wendy based on Robyn, so it makes her feel awkward. And then Robyn tells her like, girl, I'll never make you choose. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, okay, we're gonna remember those words, okay, Robyn? Hopefully at a later time, you won't, go back on those words that you said by never letting her choose. I feel like if you wasn't cool with Gizelle and a scholar was also cool with other people that you didn't like, I feel like you probably would want to make her choose at that point. But okay. And Mia don't even wait until a couple of hours. She is run and tell that in a millisecond. Exactly. Robyn is the Shawnee O'Neal of Potomac. Very boring and most shady, talking about she's reasonable. Lies, you tell. My problem with Mia is her and Candiace has made up this episode and dropped their issue. So why did she start a Twitter beef with Candiace if they came to a resolve? Great question. And if you're talking about like past tense when they got into it, wonderful question. And let Miss Mia tell it, she's gonna say that, oh, it wasn't me, it was somebody else that I had running my page that said that. Just like she talked about Mrs. Scholar, talked about how she don't want nobody talking about mamas and stuff, but then you go up there and you bring up Mrs. Scholar's mama on Twitter, and then you turn around and say, oh, I'm sorry, it wasn't me, it was somebody else on my page running it. Good question. I don't know. I also feel like it could be because she knows, as I've said before, that Candiace is the least liked person on Potomac, right? However, the least liked person on the show is the person that brings more attention to the show, because everybody else gonna want to see like, who is this person y'all talking about that y'all don't like, right? So that person brings a lot of attention to the show. Candiace has a lot of dislikers, a lot of haters, right? So Mia feels like, okay, I probably can get those people on my side if they don't like her. So that's probably another reason why she started sitting up there arguing with that lady. on social media? Good question, okay? Candiace said Mia almost didn't make it as a housewife on the show. Interesting. I don't get how Mia lies. So I don't understand that either. But maybe she had to, based on her circumstances as growing up in, the predicament that she did. Robyn just can't go toe-to-toe with Wendy and doesn't want to get embarrassed. I actually disagree. I feel like Robyn can go toe-to-toe with Wendy if she wants to. I feel like Robyn probably just making a decision to not do that. I don't know why. Maybe because they did have a friendship at one point. But I don't see Wendy being any worse than what Monique was, right? And not saying Monique was worse on the show. I think she had a bad season, but I don't think that they both had like a whole lot of mouth or whatever, because Robyn was ready to go toe-to-toe with Monique at any given moment. Robyn was ready to go toe-to-toe with Ashley. Robyn does not mind giving work to anybody. I think she just was like over it. Like, I don't even want to discuss it. Like, girl, I'm good. And you know what else it makes me think? If it's a situation where it's like, I don't even want to give you any more airtime based off of me. Because at this point, I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to get you off the show. So I can see that. She doesn't want to talk to Wendy because she knows Wendy will bring valid points. She just wants Wendy to submit to the mean girl antics. I don't know. Because Robyn have no words and she knows she can't go to. I think I read that when y'all said that she'll never win. I don't think so. I feel like she can go toe to toe with Miss Wendy. I think she could. And the fact that she got to know Miss Wendy, she may know more about Wendy than Gizelle do. So I feel like she could go toe to toe with her. I don't know why she choosing not to. All right, y'all. So let's keep going. Okay, so Mia runs upstairs to tell Wendy that Robyn says she isn't the same person she was a year ago. Wendy says, of course I've changed, girl. And if she's the same person, then she needs to motherfucking change too. Okay, so when Robyn and a scholar finally come back upstairs, they hop right into it, right? So then this is when Mia tells her like, oh, I missed you guys. Maybe Wendy didn't. We were just talking about you. I told Wendy that you said she wasn't the same person or something like that. And then Robyn tells her, girl, I was talking about the friendship. That's what I mean. Like, whatever you just sat up here and told her, that's not what I was talking about. I was speaking on the friendship. And Robyn said, and Mia wanted to know more. Like, well, why do you feel like the friendship is in the place that it's in? And Robyn said, girl, listen, I'm not at a place where I feel like debating. Okay. So I don't want to engage in anything. I ain't got nothing to say. I wasn't really mad at Robyn for disengaging or not wanting to interact. Y'all had enough arguments around there. Y'all be upset when people be arguing and getting into it. And then now when they say they want to disengage, feel away. No, I feel like she didn't want to talk about it. She didn't want to talk about it. Wendy got upset though. I saw that Wendy didn't like. She's like, oh, okay, so that's what we're doing, but it's fine. Okay, because when you are adults, you realize what place people have in your life, and you place them down accordingly. Okay. Wendy says that she was open to having a conversation with anybody though. So I appreciated that Wendy did say that. So while y'all over there forming your own opinions, Robyn and Gizelle or whatever, just know that I still welcome conversation at any moment. What else? She also spoke about the trip. She lets them know that she booked this trip before Gizelle even broke her toe. Gizelle says that she was mad that no one showed that they cared. But also it's still like, well, Wendy, if you booked the trip before they broke their toe, you still booked a room that didn't have a restroom in it. Right? So did you book it before you even told them that they're going on this trip and they denied and said they didn't want, like, when did you book it? Because if that's the case, you still booked a room with no bathroom in it. However, I can't be mad because, girl, Miss Gizelle didn't want to give you no bathroom anyway. So I feel like Wendy probably had this plan the whole time, which was to give them that room together, and they would not have a bathroom just to pay her back for what she did back at the house, possibly. What else did I want to say? Robyn says that she's not mad about her decision. She said maybe Gizelle is. She said, but I did what I wanted to do. I left. I got me another spot. I'm okay with where I'm at. Okay. She said, I don't want to be in no house and use no bathroom where these men are pissing on the floor. So everybody went, who did that? Who out here pissing on the floor? I want to know who was pissing on the floor too, because I ain't gonna lie. The first person that came to my mind was G. Okay. That's what I want to know. Was it G that was out here pissing on the floor? Robyn and Gizelle both said from the beginning that they weren't going on the trip. So how can you expect to be accommodated on a trip you weren't planning on going on? Wendy already said on the after show they were going to pick their rooms last anyway, so they would have gotten bad accommodations either way. Okay, bet. So that kind of goes along with what I was saying earlier. Like, was this already the plan anyway? She was gonna stick them in the room, so they would have had to go downstairs. That's why she said that the place was picked before Gizelle broke her toe. So, girl, in addition, y'all said y'all didn't want to go. Anyway, Gizelle says that when it comes to Wendy, she's cool on Wendy, but then goes on to say that she's combative, right? She says every time we talk, it's always combative and it's always aggressive. And I'm like, why would you choose to use those words? Well, let me tell you, Miss Wendy was on it with the buzzwords because she turned around and told her, yeah, because you're always a mean girl and you're always a bully. So since you want to use some type of buzzwords, we can use them. We can use them, and I'm gonna throw them right back at you. And I said, good job. Good job. Way to be quick, Wendy. Way to be quick, okay? Now, the guys left after Robyn acted like it wasn't cool to have these conversations around the guys or whatever. And I'm like, girl, what the fuck? I don't understand why I don't know what Robyn was on. All these times y'all had men around when y'all had conversations, now all of a sudden it's a problem that the guys are there. Like, I don't know what was going on with Robyn. Mia and Candiace, okay? Mia lets Candiace know that she apologizes for questioning her mom. And Candiace lets her know, like, girl, it wasn't so much as you questioning my mama, dear. It was more so about you and that low budget comment that you used towards me, okay? Now, Candiace gets emotional and tells her that when she said that, it really hurts her because she's starting this process again of her getting back into what she loves, what she wants to do, her music career or whatever. And she don't know if she's doing it right. And she's scared and she doesn't want her project to be taken as a joke or to be frowned upon or looked down upon. So it definitely made her feel away. And Mia apologizes for calling her project low budget and pretty much diminishing her work. And she says that she'll work to not purposely try to hurt her in the future. So all is well on that end. Candiace tells her that she wasn't aware about her issues regarding her mom because Mia opened up and talked about how her mom ended up being in prison. She was on drugs for X amount of time, how her mom ended up not going to the funeral of her parents, which was awkward because it was really her mom's choice. Because it's like, how you do something, and y'all let me know, because how I'm looking at it, okay, never being locked up before. I'm like, girl, you know, put yourself in a position to get you landed in prison. You got these shackles on your feet. Your parents done passed away. And you have the audacity to not want to walk in there to see your parents just because you got shackles on your feet. Girl, you picking the wrong time to be sedity or whatever. So you was willing to be okay with not seeing your parents and God knows how long and allowing them to just, you know, pass away without you paying your respect. Anyway, girl, that's her mama. That's her mama. She gonna stick beside her, girl. I didn't understand it. Dr. Wendy not only grades on a curve, she sets the curve. Jamie says this ponytail is constantly giving. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. This conversation could have happened at the Reasonably Shady event, but Mia refused to see how her comments were wrong. Mia apologizes, then gets on Twitter and asks, ooh, did she do it? Won't she do it? That's what she did. You did. Okay. So then, like I said, Mia opened up more about her mom. Candiace says that she understands. Mia says that she doesn't want her mother to be affected by comments and things that may come her way. Mia, if you feel that way, dear, get your mama off the show. Get your mama off the show. If you feel like you don't want to hear what people are going to say about your mom, do not bring her into next season, okay? Because we've definitely said some things about, who mama was that? Miss Candy Burrs. We've talked about Miss Candy Burrs' mom. Baby, we ain't even seen Kenya Moore's mama. Hear me. And still be sitting up here bringing this lady into conversations. Hello, mom, it's Kenya. So, girl, if you do not want people talking about your mama, do not bring her on the show. Hell, we have yet to see, I don't think we've ever seen Gizelle mama on the show. We've seen Robyn's mom on the show, but she keeps her mom in a very limited capacity. And I just feel like, girl, if you don't want nobody saying anything about your mama, keep her off the show, because it's not even really just the cast members that can speak on her. It's the fans. right? Because I said a stranger can make your mama, I guess, go back, retract, or withdraw, whatever the thing was she said about getting back onto, drugs. I feel like a stranger could do that quicker than the castmate, because they may see your mom, they may recognize her down the street. Hell, some little kids, they may watch the show, may go to school with your sister kids, and may say something to your mama if that's the case. So if you don't want anyone saying anything to your mom, get her off the show. Have her on in a extremely limited capacity. And if she is on there, make sure it ain't no BS type thing. It's just a passing, like, hey, okay, you're here with the kids. Okay, see you in a minute. Bye. Like, be careful, girl. And stop trying to put that off on everybody. If your mama gonna relapse or she gonna do anything she gonna do, it's gonna be because that's what she wanted to do. I hope she doesn't go back down that road, but don't put that off on other folks. Okay. And before you do that, if you were, I hate to say that, I would probably look at yourself first before you look at other folks, because you shouldn't have brought her on the show then, if that's the case. Let me see what else I got. So yeah, Candiace and Mia, they seem to resolve their issues in that moment. Okay, so for now, all is well. For now, all is well. Okay, the crew hops on the van. Ashley is knocked out, and this is where things get really, really funny for me. Okay, Mia is saving the show. She's entertaining. You think I don't think she's saving the show at all. I think had she not been on the show, it still would have been entertaining without Mia on this show. And if that's the case, Mia can't save the show without Miss Candiace, because girl, they got them 1 million views, and Mia didn't bring those views along. Let me go up and see what else y'all saying. Okay, so Gizelle's mom was on there once. I don't even remember her mom. Was it when they all sat down and had that conversation about whether they were black or white, or mixed with white or whatever? It was like a moment they all were sitting down in somebody's house. I feel like that's when the moms was on the show. Ashley mom gets dragged too, and does, living in a tent under the bridge and whatnot. Good night. She does. And it's crazy because Ashley don't sit up there and say that I don't want anybody's comments to affect my mom and whoopty la 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 and boosty kela or whatever. She don't say all that. These damn crying spells Mia and Candiace have blow me. Where are the tears? The damage is done because we have already seen her mama and knows her business. Well, she still need to keep her off. Limited capacity. We wouldn't have known her mom did drugs if she wouldn't have said anything in the first place. I mean, that's very true. We wouldn't know anything. She used her mom as a storyline, and then she gonna blame other folks. They call her out for it. Yikes. Okay, she would not have seen this anyway. What? They are driven to the cemetery in shackles and their prison jumpsuit. I would attend either. Remember my parent when they were alive, funeral are for the living. Everybody that comes on the show is open for public scrutiny. Very true. It feels like Mia is protecting her own sobriety while dangling her mom's storyline. Girl, you. Oh, that is true. Let's keep going. Okay. Ashley. Ashley's on the van. Y'all know Ashley tired. She's tired. She's exhausted. G calls her out. He's like, y'all look at Ashley. Look at Ashley over here. Because Ashley got the head back, mouth open. Okay. Tired. Ashley says that she wants G to stay on his side of the van. Ashley is irritated, and she kind of snap on G a little bit. Ashley goes into the confessional and says that she has a newborn at home. She doesn't get a chance to get good sleep. And she says that she calls out G's behavior as though it irks her. Ashley Darby, I'm tired of you using your motherfucking kids as an excuse. Like somebody's supposed to give you some damn grace. Just because you got a newborn at home and you can't get no sleep, people supposed to let you get sleep on a van. First of all, how you finna get some real good sleep on this van with all these people on here talking? Number two, you came on a cash trip. You've done this multiple times. How did you think you was gonna get you some good sleep away on a cash trip? You should have thought about that sleep that you could have gotten before you brought your ass down there to Williamsburg for about 4 hours, okay? Yes, ma'am. Instead of coming down there to film, to run amok in the palace and then go back to the house, girl. Okay? So you should have considered those times when you could have been asleep. Instead of bringing this up, I ain't having a newborn and I don't really get sleep, okay? And G's behavior, it really irks me. G's behavior irks you, but what about your husband's? Every time Ashley bring up somebody's husband, I'm always going to bring up hers. Girl, what about yours? Okay? I hate it when she speaks on how somebody else's husband makes her feel. When she said, Chris made me feel uncomfortable the way that he was trying to get Candiace up and remove her from the table. He made me feel uncomfortable. How did your husband make you feel when he ran amok on production and you last season? Let's talk about those things, Miss Ashley. She gets on my nerves, okay? Gets on my everlasting nerves. Mia and Ashley both using these shields. Ashley was doing it on Watch What Happens Live. She did. She did it on Watch What Happens Live, talking about the milkmaid comment, talking about she wasn't as upset as some people were. Like, she was offended, but she wasn't as upset as other ladies were. So basically, you took their issue and made it your own. Girl, bye. Okay, and then trying to get, I guess, a person canceled based off of how other people feel. Michael's behavior should drive her up the wall then. Ashley should have followed Gizelle and Robyn out to that hotel to get some sleep. Right. Let me see. On the after show, she said it was her fault because she stayed up the night before. So she's talking out of both sides of her mouth. Is it your fault for staying up or the kids who were at home? This thing be moving so quick. I don't like Ashley, but G was being annoying. The problem is she doesn't have the same energy for her predator, Darby. She don't be with her husband, that's all. Karma for that. As Ashley, have you met Michael? Right. Have you met your husband today? Mia and Ashley, oh no, I think I read that one. This thing be moving so quick. Okay, motherhood as an excuse for everything. She does. She used motherhood as an excuse for everything. And they validate that, right? The other ladies, they validate that. And I can't stand it. Even Wendy did it at one point. Well, I didn't say anything to Ashley in Williamsburg because she had just had a baby. I don't give a damn what Ashley had. Ashley didn't care about coming in there ruining your day. Stop giving her grace. That's why I'm looking forward to seeing her and Mia kind of have a tit for tat in next episode, talking about G and how he was annoying. Okay, and I want to hear the uproar for that. I want to hear the uproar about how Miss Mia hopped into that conversation to defend her husband. Just like other people didn't like the fact that Candiace hopped into the conversation, I feel, to defend her husband and to speak up on her own behalf because Ashley included her into that conversation. I want to hear the uproar, but I am here for G collecting Miss Ashley because it's funny because I feel like that's what Michael does too. Michael feels like he could talk to the men and the women any kind of way. So yeah, now you've met your match, dear. You've met your match. I'm so here for it. Ashley Black for real. She gets tired and has no more damn patience. But yes, I'm over her only thing being her motherhood. Girl, get a life. I'm tired. I'm sick and tired of Ashley using this I am a mother excuse. We don't give up. She needs to cut it out. She needs to. And they need to stop making excuses for it as well because Wendy did not get that same grace last season. And then Wendy and no, I think baby Dean at that time, and Wendy's child are around the same age, right? So they didn't get the same, she don't get that same grace. We've known about Ashley's mother since, have I read this one? We've known about Ashley's mother since season 1, and Candiace never talked about her. So if she had known about Mia's mom, she would not have brought her mother into it. And there's that. Usually when you are locked up, they bring you, did I read this one? Usually when you are locked up, they bring you in before the funeral starts, so no fraternizing. I've had family members come for their parents' funerals while locked up. Interesting. That makes sense. So she made a choice to not see her parents, and then Mia tried to use that for people to gain sympathy from more people. Like, she didn't even see her mom. And then the more you probe, you learn that it was a choice for her not to see her mom and her dad. Oh, okay. Girl, let me go. I ain't got time for Miss Mia, honey. Forehead, always using motherhood as an excuse and protection shield. Girl, I'm tired of it. I wasn't a fan of Ashley, Gizelle, and Robyn spinning the aggressive narrative in the situation with Chris. I didn't like that, and then they did the same thing, or at least Miss Gizelle did when it came to Wendy. I don't like all that. I don't like all that. Gizelle did way too much in the after show about Ashley sleeping and G taking to her. Oh, I can't wait to see it, y'all, because y'all know I'm going to have to bring y'all my thoughts on it. Ashley, every woman up there is a mother, not just you. 1000% agree. Every single woman sitting up there is a mother, and not just you, Miss Ashley. I can't take it. I can't take it, y'all. But that's really everything that happened tonight, y'all, on Real Housewives of Potomac and Salt Lake City. Right? I hope you guys enjoyed it. I don't know how many more. I feel like we probably got like 2 more shows before they get into the reunion. We're going to see. But again, y'all, I have not seen that clip of Robyn. Remember I told y'all how Juan walked off on Robyn? They played that for us in the previews. I have not come across that clip yet. And I'm waiting to see when they're going to have that in the show. I'm tired of them showing us stuff and then cropping it out. I feel away. Stop doing that. Stop it. Stop doing it. That's going to be interesting. Let's see what excuses she'll have after the babies are older. She probably going to try and get pregnant again, child. And I am not looking forward to this scene of her and Michael and her, trying to put her leg and stuff all on. Girl, I'm not looking forward to this, seeing her all up on this old man. And it looked like he's not going to get aroused at all. I can't take it. I don't understand Michael, y'all. It's nasty. It's disgusting. Not is Juan alive. I think he is. I think Juan is alive. Okay, of course. I hope Skylar's storyline shows up like her fashions before this season is over. I doubt if her storyline will show up because she is a friend of the show. But I'm hoping that they bring her back so that we can get more into what Mrs. Skylar got going on. Gizelle defended Ashley on the after show was annoying AF. I saw that on last week's episode, the last after show, and I definitely felt the way because I could not understand it. Like, girl, why is you going up for her? Continuing to make excuses for her. Oh, I can't stand it. And I really hope that Wendy sees through Ashley at the reunion and see how Ashley just sat up there with Robyn and said how much she didn't give a fuck about Wendy. She just wanted them to come on the trip so they could be messy together. I was so uncomfortable watching. I was so uncomfortable seeing that scene too with Ashley and Michael. Ashley and Skylar and her fashions give life. Yes, that scene was giving cringe with her and Michael, but it looks like Mia is gonna It looks like Mia is gonna go head to head with Ashley and bring on Michael. Of course she is. When she asked her, like, is he at home? Like, you sure he is? I was here for that. And I love it because I want to see if she's going to have the same energy when the shoe is on the other foot, when Miss Mia is coming at your head now. When Miss Mia is coming at you, I want to see how she's going to respond to it. Okay? But that's that on that, y'all. That's all I got. I'm going to go ahead and hop off. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Okay, we had, almost 300 people in the chat. So you guys, please be sure to hit the like button on your way out. Okay, I'm Jamie, that's me. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share my videos. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.